Welcome back to the channel. Skyler Finnell here. I am joined by my good buddy Rory, not McElroy, the other Rory. He's an ex-baseball player, has a bunch of speed, does things a little differently, strong grip that you guys will see, but we want to maximize obviously his playability without making too many changes. As somebody that doesn't really go to the range that often, likes to play a lot of golf, we're going to try to hone things in a little bit more with his dispersion, with up the bag to driver. So let's see what we got with him. I'm just going to hold this here, okay, and then I'm just going to keep shifting it a little bit more neutral. So because it gets so far ahead, when you grip up to it, you're already in a really strong position. So rather than try to like kind of mess with this position, I'm just going to bring it back to more of a neutral position. And then now I'm just going to want this to roll over a little bit, this roll over a little bit. If I get this V kind of going up your right shoulder, which would be like, yeah, right about there, this logo's kind of facing this way. Before you had the logo facing pretty much at Q. So I'd say that's a pretty neutral left-hand grip. And then if you grip that and we have this kind of going up your right shoulder, I would say that is your pretty much standard neutral grip. Does that feel wild to you?
Wild.
Yeah. Wild. For sure. And I think
it feels like I would just hit this ball and it would be almost in the dead spot.
100%. Yeah. Well, because you've had to work from a shut face to hold it off, that now with that, it feels like, yeah, you're just going to wipe the crap out of it. So I think that is the best thing for you to get your grip neutral. I don't think so. Like, I think that you already have so many components and tendencies to make it work for a strong grip that you like to see a draw. It's like, let's just bring it closer to somewhere in between those, you know, and kind of like play around with that, see what like the takeaway looks like. Let's see what the ball flight looks like. So that's variable number one. Okay. We're probably going to get some of those lefts.
That's
right.
Yeah. And I've kind of messed with it, and I know that in the long run, this is a change that I need to make. But you know, when I'm about to go play around, I'm not going to
you're not going to make it. Yeah, right, and that's why I don't want you to make it excessively, because I think that it's like then you'll be way too whacked up. I think if we can just bring it back to neutral a little bit, then make maybe a couple changes in your takeaway that can then incentivize you to want to square it up better rather than try to hold it open and have that kind of flippy left one for you. So keep doing what you're doing, get a little bit more comfortable with that. So if you were to just take it back to kind of like club parallel back here, good. So I'm just going to want you to check back here before you were here, okay? So I just want to see that toe a little bit higher than when it's there. So part of it will match up with how you roll it before, and now it's just, it should feel like, because the grip is a little bit more neutral standard, that when you bring it back, yeah, we're a little bit more into here than we were there. Okay? And then if we keep going to the top from there, should feel like we can keep that face there. It doesn't get as long and then keeps going kind of that way there. And then when we bring it down, now we can get it actually start to work back into that position where it is that way, and it's not like kind of there, not super shut. So this is kind of going to be our takeaway checkpoint position and our kind of P6 downswing position, that we get that into a neutral, more neutral position.
Gotcha.
Touch of a fade on it, grip change, more neutral, and then give me that kind of rehearsal takeaway. A little bit more toe up, yeah.
A little bit.
Yep. And then when we bring it down, we can let it release a little bit more, yeah. Okay, so we've definitely neutralized a lot more. Like, we're not seeing that just smothering as far, right?
It's more now for me, the like actually squaring it up.
Yeah, I think now you can feel more comfortable that you can let it kind of roll over. And I think before, if you did, it was just smother gone. So now feel like we can let that face release a little bit more through impact.
Oh, that was just a miss hit.
I think another, just looking at your swing and what you do take it back pretty long. And I think that's something that, as far as keeping it more in front of you, I think when you kind of get inconsistent, especially with the driver, when it gets really long and sometimes it's behind you and the face is getting shut and you're trying to match it up, that if you can keep it to feel like your hands stay in front of your chest a little bit better, especially with like a pitching wedge, you really don't want this to get to parallel or past parallel, which is kind of where you're at. You want to feel like it stays kind of at this point, then it can stay in front of you, just way more consistent.
And that's something that I've noticed that I started doing maybe in the last like year as well. It's just like, I used to honestly end the swing like right there, and now for whatever reason,
it just keeps going.
And even every once in a while, like I'll see myself going too far and be like on this leg. I'm like, I know that's not going to be good for me.
Yeah. So I think that's like the tough part as a coach, honestly, is like there's things that I see from, you know, so many tour players of these same tendencies. We load into our right side, shift into our left. Like there's things that you do taking it back really long, and you kind of shift into your right side and you hold it back very strong. Like I'm not going to shift everything, all of your tendencies into a tour setup like right away. It's like, to me, it's for you to continue to be a functional golfer, it's going to be like little tweaks that continue 100%. To build you like closer to neutral on a lot of these things. So that's why it's like, if we can keep just making subtle tweaks to the grip, takeaway gets a little bit cleaner, not quite as strong, to incentivize you to kind of hold that down and release it a little bit better. And then I think, keeping it a little less long with the arms, keeping it more in front of you, I think will still allow you to utilize some of your little idiosyncrasies of the strong grip, kind of how you like set up kind of open with the lower body and kind of the things that you do. So let's keep just playing around with that. I don't have all the answers now.
No.
I think that's one of the keys as like a coach with a player is like communicating and being like, okay, this is kind of what I see is going to be the best path forward for you. If it's like, you can kind of feel that, see that matches up well. If it's something you don't like at all, then it's like, you tell me, communicate that with me. But I want to feel like I don't change your DNA as a golfer. I just want to optimize it, you know? And obviously, like, how much do you play? Once a week, twice a week, maybe?
Probably twice a week.
Twice a week, So it's like, you're not going to be able to go out and grind. You typically never go to the range, right? You typically just go play golf.
Yeah, my range shut down. Tekaloti, RIP.
Yeah, exactly. So in reality, people like yourself have to take a look. It's like, okay, in order for you to be your best golfer, it's like, if you want to make a lot of changes, you'd probably have to spend a lot of time on the range making these like diligent changes to your face, to your grip, to your setup. And like, that's going to be really difficult given the reality of the situation. Can we just make subtle tweaks, check in with your coach or somebody to like continue to optimize those playing parameters? And I think that's how you be a better golfer without like losing the fun, losing the skill, and like all of those things that you naturally do well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
So let's keep kind of talking through that, the grip, the length of the backswing, and we're not really making too big of changes. It's just like subtle tweaks that are just going to allow you to be more consistent, which is ultimately your goal. Okay.
I'll take where that is going.
Yeah, I would agree. I still think we're getting a little long with the arms.
Okay.
So give me one more. I'll just get it on video just to show you. Okay, we're definitely neutralizing the turn. Like we're getting a straighter ball flight, which I'd say is good. I'll just hold this here as a reference. So go to where you're where you're gonna stop.
Yeah.
Good, okay. That's where I want you to stop. So give me a backswing. You're probably gonna hezzy because you're gonna feel like you're gonna wanna go much longer than that. Yeah, see how you want it? You wanna kind of go an extra 2 to 3 feet?
Keep going, yeah.
See if you can make a swing stopping before you hit the noodle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels again, everything's getting rushed,
For sure, yeah. And then, your timing thing of feeling like the tempo gets quick, it's because, this gets super long, and then all of a sudden this behind you, and you've got to kind of rush to get it down back in front of you. If we can just keep that in front of you here, keep that in front of you there, consistency with the irons, and then definitely the driver will be a huge difference. So give me a couple more of those. I'll just keep holding that up, and we'll keep bringing it back even a little bit shorter, and then we'll check on video to see the difference.
I think we need to
Good. Give me a couple more. There we go. That's pretty money right there. Right at the flag. Does that feel weird? Does it feel short?
Feels short. Feels like all my power's gone.
So that's where I think that now when we take it a little bit shorter, we can actually be a little bit faster now with the lower body.
Okay.
Rather than, I think you've kind of allowed that to store it up. Now we can transfer that energy a little bit earlier to keep it in front of you. So I think we just need to connect the arms to the chest better to start by shortening it, but now we can turn the engine back on. I think before, like, because you shortened it, you kind of just turned everything off. Now can we still start to get that speed and snap, but feeling like we're John Rahm, feeling like we're stopping a lot shorter, and we can kind of rip.
That's what it feels like. I'm almost stopping like here. Like,
yeah.
It's just crazy. Like it's crazy to think that noodle's like here.
Yeah. And even like, again, it's like the grip. It's like, is it terrible for you to have a really long swing with your irons, with your pitching wedge? No, but like, I would rather it be stopping before parallel than after parallel, because then it's like, again, we can just clean up contact a little bit more. We can keep it a little bit more in front of you. I think you'll still have your power, but the consistency will come in. So I'd say, again, I'm bringing you to this side of the needle where it's keeping you much more in front of you. Maybe that's not the golfer that you're going to be. You'll probably still be a little long. Like Jake Knapp is very long with a lot of his irons, but he's still coming down, keeps it in front of him. He knows that when it gets a little long, he gets kind of behind his right hip, and that causes a lot of issues.
Yep.
So you can still have the length that gives you a lot of the power. We just need to have that length while keeping it a little bit more in front of us.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, to me, in reality, like that to me looks like more of a stock pitching wedge. I think the first one looked like you were trying to hit your longest pitching wedge you possibly could. And there's going to be times that, yes, you want to hit a pitching wedge far, and when you get to the longer irons, like that swing that I showed before that was like at the top, really long in a strong position, that's great for a 4-iron or like a driver, but like for a pitching wedge, we want control. Like we don't just want to hit this 160 yards. Like we ideally want to hit this 145, 150, but like a much tighter dispersion.
Yeah.
And so, especially for like the scoring clubs and keeping that more in front of you, the length is just one of the keys of keeping those hands in front of the chest.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's kind of, again, I want you to do what you do, but I think just the face is almost the one that I'm keying in now. If we can just keep that stable going back, that's going to be huge. Yeah, that's ripped. That is nuked. Are you aware of that from the face standpoint? Like now, do you see, did you notice that before? Or is that something that just...
Yeah, I mean, like when it comes down to it, like, I mean, again, that's why I held off my swing for so long. It's just like trying to keep the ball in the relative direction, but like the mechanics behind that, like, absolutely makes sense. Like, when it comes down to it, like, again, that's why I said like here to here is kind of my biggest problem, because I don't know if like I've done this before. And I've done then like even the opposite, which is like more bowing this wrist, like to keep you know, open the face and then shut it at the end.
Yeah.
Too, but
I think that you are just a lot better off of keeping this more stable, less hinging early, which again, kind of you start at the face, you almost like hinge, close, and then you get to there. I would rather this be a lot more Steve Stricker like, where the face is able to stay a lot more square, because you already kind of turn it down even more to strengthen it. So the more that you could just be more passive and then allow that move off the ball to be just more streamlined, not like so many moving parts and feels like it gets off. So face can stay more stable, hand path can stay more stable. Then when you get to the top, this can keep in front of you, doesn't like run out as much. I think those are just going to be the keys for 100%. Consistency in the long run. Yeah.
And that's like, I mean, like it's, for me, it's like 70s or 90s. And like, there's really no 80s with me either. It's like either I'm timed up well today or I'm not timed up well today. And like, that's the thing that I got to try to avoid.
Yeah, I want you to find how you get back to timed up. Yeah. Yeah, pretty darn good. Yeah, and even at the top, like that doesn't feel like that's running out too far past your chest, you know? Like to me, like, does that feel much different than where you were before? I mean, I know you were pretty long, but like to me it feels there. It doesn't feel like there and then we're really far behind.
It's really like the takeaway and the extension kind of keep everything again, like what you were saying, more in front of me, and like those are, you know, two pretty consistent balls right there. Like those are right where I'm aiming. So.
Yeah, kind of like be like Brad Dahlke. Keep that arm long. Shout out Brad. Yeah, touch of a pull.
Yeah,
but still pretty darn good. You can still have length and turn while keeping this more in front of you and keeping that width. Yeah. I think when this starts to run out and then this starts to fold and this gets behind you, that's where your consistency gets off. And then I think that kind of builds to where that face became at the top and coming down where it's shut and behind you off the takeaway. When you do have that kind of shut roll, then it gets there, you've kind of built that in off the start. So can we make that more neutral? Can we just take the face back a little bit more square? Keep that width a little bit more, you know, in the backswing up to the top. I think all those things will just bring in that consistency where it's like, okay, now we're more in the 70s than bringing out that 90 ball where it's like, I've lost the driver, I've lost my connection, and starts to get off. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And then I think over time, the grip's a weird one because I know it's aggressively strong, but that being said, there's people that play really good golf with really strong grips. I think for you, it's just optimizing how we can keep it in front of you and a little less of this kind of roll, snap, shutting of the face. Keep that just a little bit more stable. But I'd say that the driver looks good when you keep that in front of you, and the irons were more consistent, those strikes. And for those shorter irons, the pitching wedge 9-iron, 8-iron, keeping that more in front of you, don't need to jump on it and hit it 155, 160 yards. Like, can't be losing balls with a pitching wedge or 9-iron.
100%. I know. That was the worst thing yesterday.
Yeah. Well, sweet. Rory, dude, thanks for coming out.
Appreciate you having me.
He's the man. He works at Full Swing. They have the kits out here at the Trott Shop, so we love them. Great tool for all of our numbers, distance here at this beautiful facility. So thanks for coming out.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Again, appreciate you guys for having me. And again, you guys need anything, just let me know.